Hello everyone. Today is May 13th, 2025, and I thought I would just provide everyone with an update. Not happy update. So I shaved my head. For those of you who saw the video, oh well, that's not bad news, but I just shaved my head. Yeah, so I shaved my head. That has nothing to do with the video, but that's part of the update, I suppose. That's not bad or good news. I just did it. Anyways, into the bad news. Or should we start off with good news? Or is there any good news? I guess we'll start off with good news. Let me think of what's the good news. I shaved my head. I worked yesterday, so I got 1 day of work this week. I worked yesterday, which was Monday. If that's good news. So I got 1 day of work for this week. So that's good news because that I got at least 1 day of work. But that's also bad news because I'm only anticipated to get 1 day of work. I have no more scheduled days for the rest of the week. Next week I have no idea. So that sucks. The next part of the bad news is that I applied for unemployment, and the paperwork and all that went fine. But they said that last week I had excessive earnings, supposedly, and so I earned too much money, they said, even though I only worked 33 hours. I didn't even work 40 hours. And so I don't get any money this week. So I filed the claim because you have to file every week, and so you have to file on Sunday, which I did, and so their week runs from Sunday to Saturday, and so last week from Sunday to Saturday I had 3 days of work, which was 33 hours on the clock, and they said that I earned too much money, and so for this week I get no benefits, which is nonsense. I didn't even get my full 40 hours a week. I mean, I normally get more than 40 hours a week. I normally get like 44 or sometimes 60 hours a week. And so I really don't understand why unemployment doesn't give you what you normally get. I don't understand why it's, only 50% or 60% or whatever. Whatever they give you, and why they don't give you, up to your 40 hours, at least to 40 hours. Like I said, I only work 33, so you would think they would give me, unemployment would at least give me 7 hours of pay for that week to get up to 40 or 33. Yeah, 33 plus 7 is 40. But no. So I don't understand, but it is what it is. So because last week they say I earned too much, then today would normally be the payment, I believe, but I get nothing. So now I have to wait all the way until Sunday, file a claim for, that past week, where we're at right now. And if I only have 1 day, then they should give me some money. They can't say that 1 day is excessive earnings. So if I end up not having any more days this week, then they should give me something, and it's something's got to give. Either my work has to call me and give me hours, or unemployment has to give me some money or something, because we don't have money. We don't have money, and we have to pay for this hotel that we're in. That costs money. My son needs his diapers, his underwear, which is a weekly purchase. I don't know how we're going to pay for that. I don't, when I get paid my work check at the end of this week, it's not going to even be enough for all that. So yeah. And I was thinking about it. I was thinking about these videos, and I hate to report bad news or depressing news, but what am I supposed to do? I could just not make videos. Instead of reporting bad news, I could not make videos, or I could come make a video and either lie or just not talk about it, and then I'm just going to be, deceitful. So what, should I just, I guess for those of you who don't want to hear the bad news, maybe just don't click on my videos. Because at least for right now, it's going to be bad news. It's going to be not good news unless you see something maybe positive in the title or whatever. But I have nothing positive to report. I have nothing positive to report. Yeah. I don't know. So that's what's going on. That's the update. I worked yesterday, one day. So that's 11 hours. Because it's a 12-hour shift, but we get 2 half-hour breaks, so I get 11 hours on the clock. And so I'm potentially only getting 11 hours for this entire week. Unless they call me or whatever, I signed up. But they're in this stupid, my job is in this stupid capital downtime nonsense. I've never worked for a job before in my life. I've had a lot of jobs. I've never worked for a job before in my life where they just shut down for a month and they just tell you good luck. I've heard about places closed down and then they're like, okay, a business closed down, okay, you're laid off, then you go get full unemployment because you don't have a job anymore. Obviously, I've heard of that. Or, if you get fired or if you quit. I understand all that, but I've never heard of a job be like, oh, well, you're still technically employed, but we're not going to give you hours. We're going to be shut down for a month to do maintenance. I don't know. This is the first time I've worked in a factory in my life. I've worked in warehouses, but never worked in a factory. So I don't know if this is common practice in factories or what, where they just shut down. And what gets me is I got hired as a full-time employee, not as a temporary, not as a seasonal, full-time employee. Was there something in the tiny writing in all the papers that I signed that says, oh, we may or may not shut down sometimes? Maybe. I don't know. But it's still, it's nonsense regardless, for a job just to tell you, oh, we're going to be down for a month. You may or may not get hours. Good luck. Go file for unemployment. And then unemployment screws you, doesn't even give you 100% or even 80% of what you normally earn, And, yeah. And then the other thing that makes me upset, I know I'm complaining. If you don't want to hear me complain, you could just not watch the video. But, I complain about a lot of stuff. But the other dumb thing about my job is they claim that they care about, like work-life balance and family and, we watch like a lot of training videos and stuff like that. And they claim they care about safety and, they care about, you and your well-being. They don't. And it's not just my job. I'm telling you in general, these jobs, they maybe like 99.9% of them, they don't care about you or your family or your life or nothing like that. Because they wouldn't just shut down like this and tell you, oh, well, good luck. Go try to get unemployment where you're not going to have, work for a month. Maybe a day here and a day there. That's not caring about your employees. So it's a joke. Yeah. And then, I could get into all the safety stuff and they really don't care about that either. Most of these companies, they care about their bottom line and paying their executives and pleasing their shareholders and stuff like that. Employees are way at the bottom of the care chain as far as, they don't care about the employees. You're expendable, just everything, there's no reason to belabor it too much, but it's just dumb, you get hired for these companies, they care, they claim about you, and they don't. And then you bust your ass, and I go to work every day. I don't call in. There's a lot of people who call in all the time, or they show up late or whatever. I don't. I show up on time, even early sometimes, or a lot of times I show up early. I do my full shift. I do all my days. I do extra days. They're stupid required extra days they have. And, this is how the company repays you. Oh, okay, good luck. no work for you for a month. Then they write you up. Then they criticize your work. And it's, just negative, and then the companies wonder why their employees hate that company, or, people quiet quit, and people say, oh, well, go to another company. They're all the same. They're all the same. I've worked at a lot of companies. They're all the same, Okay, I'm going to admit there are some that care more about their employees than others. For example, here in the United States, I would say one that I know off the top of my head is In-N-Out, the hamburger place. From what I understand, they pay their employees well, and they treat them pretty well, whatever. And another big one is Costco, the whole food seller. Again, I never worked there, but just from what people say, people who've worked there, they pay you well, good holidays, holiday pay, good working conditions, whatever. From what I've heard, I don't know. Maybe they're not either. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. So yeah, so my point is maybe there's some exceptions out there to where there's decent employers, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. But what are you gonna do? You can sit there and complain till you're blue in the face, but doesn't do you any good. So that's what's going on. Oh, and then I guess this is more bad news. No one has donated either. Not that I expect anybody to donate. I'm just saying matter of factly, nobody has donated. So no work hours, well, minimal work hours, no unemployment, nobody's donated yet. And again, I don't expect anything from anybody. Nobody. I'm not owed any of that stuff necessarily. I'm not necessarily, except maybe unemployment. I mean, I do pay into that, I believe. But, I guess, my job, they don't have to give me hours. I mean, they don't even have to, they could fire me or lay me off or whatever they want, let alone they don't necessarily have to give me hours, and obviously nobody has to donate or whatever. So, I mean, I respect that. I understand that. I'm not dumb. I'm just saying matter of factly, that's just the case. I'm getting minimal hours at work, no unemployment as of yet, and no one's donated. No money's falling out of the sky, unfortunately. And that's it. The PayPal link is always there on my channel page. If anybody wants to donate, I always mention it. Doesn't hurt to mention it. Like I said, if somebody gets tired of hearing me complain, they don't have to watch my videos. If people get tired of hearing me, beg for money, oh hey, go donate to my PayPal. I mean, again, you could always turn off the video or, hit that little button that says don't recommend channel. I mean, I don't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. My channel is like 90% depressing, so I wouldn't blame you. I really wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't be surprised or upset or whatever if you didn't watch my videos or anything like that. But I'm just, I think one reason why my videos, there's a lot of reasons why my videos don't do well, but one reason is I tell it how it is. I noticed sometimes, or a lot of times, the YouTubers who do best are the ones who kind of, blow smoke up your ass and maybe act like everything is okay, and kind of like Instagram. People have talked about this before about Instagram, especially about, like, say, the pretty girls who post on Instagram, and people have, they say, a lot of that's fake. Not just using filters and all that, but these Instagram models, they'll smile and they act like they're having a good time. Oh, I'm eating all this good food or whatever it is, but behind the scenes maybe they're depressed or whatever. And my point is that it's the photos that they take are kind of a snapshot, but it's kind of like it's fake. But people like that fakeness. People want this illusion that, oh wow, something is going well for somebody. And that sells. Happiness sells, kind of. And, fake luxury sells. People who, I don't know, fake like they have a lot of money or, nice cars and stuff like that. So, yeah, so that sells. But what doesn't sell, or what videos or whatever, or pictures or images, anything, what doesn't do well is just straight out depressing stuff. Because the majority of people already have their own problems, as you most likely do, whoever you are. And so people don't want to hear other people's problems. People are like, hey, I have my own problems. I don't want to hear your problems. That just maybe makes someone more depressed or more sad, which I get. Again, I understand. I'm not oblivious to this. But so like that's what I said. So either my options are either A, just don't make videos altogether. B, make videos, but be like those fake influencers and just bullshit and lie and maybe cut my hair fancy and get a nice hat and maybe like some fake nice looking watch and act like I have money and that I'm that I'm really happy. Everything is sunshine and roses. Maybe my videos would do better. I don't know, but that's option B. But I choose option C. I generally come on and I be realistic about things, not just my life. Like for those of you who've seen my food reviews before. That's another thing. A lot of food reviewers, they blow smoke up your ass and they try to overhype, food products that they try and this and that. I don't. I tell it how it is. If I like something, I say it. I say why I like it. I say if I don't like it and why I don't like it. And so I'm more of a realistic YouTuber, and that's not always the best content. People don't like reality. That's why people play video games, because it gets you out of reality. That's why people like watching movies or reading books or doing whatever on the internet that gets them out of reality, because reality sucks. And so they don't want to come on, watch a YouTube video like mine and hear more depressing reality. They rather be in that fantasy world of, like I said, sunshine and roses and everything, and which I get, So you want to see me put my work hat on? I actually have a white hat at my work, like your not seniority, but like I don't know how to explain it. So like a green hat. It's cold. It's been sitting in my car. A green hat means a new employee who's been there less than 3 months, so they're not like technically union yet. And then a white hat means someone who has been there over 3 months, and so they are union, so they're experienced. So green hat, unexperienced new person. White hat, experienced person. And then orange hat, we have orange hats as well. That's also for someone who's union, but it also means they have, I think, ammonia training or like first responder training. So it's usually like maintenance people and mechanics and people who deal with ammonia at my job, and they get paid like $500 a year for that training, and then they get the orange hat. But yeah, so it basically designates that that they have like first responder training or whatever. Anyways, so I'm white hat, but I lost my white hat, and so I borrowed this one. Went to my HR office and I told them I lost my white hat, and so they gave me this one as a spare. These are just my ear, my ear protection. So they had an extra green hat. I mean, I could get another white hat, but it really doesn't matter. People, they know that I've been there, over 3 months, a year and a half, and so I mean, there's really no point in me having a white hat, but yeah, that's what the hats mean. And so this is our hard. I'm calling it a hat, but it's obviously a hard helmet, safety helmet. I don't know why I got into that. Like I said, reality. My videos are about reality. That's it. Anyways, I'm rambling now. I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for anyone who does happen to donate. Thank you for the likes and subscribes and etc. and whatnot. And that's it. I'll see you guys next video.